we are down 50% of our staff. Things aren't looking good. Let's go in and see why. We got somebody stroking out. Day 16, the first day of week 3. We're here outside of Wilcon, my favorite hardware store. You know we go here a lot. We're grabbing duct tape. It's a few things to show you. We've expanded the full area of the farm. Kuya, this guy is mathematically challenged and geometrically challenged, but that's okay. And we say that to his face, so I don't think we're talking behind his back here. But anyways, let's go into Wilcon, then we'll show you how we've expanded the farm, and all the sections are all uneven and it's a bit of a mess, but I digress. Let's go. I'm gonna need a sponsor from them pretty soon, the way I shout them out. What you notice in here at Wilcon is they have like an insane amount of workers in here. Like you ask somebody where something is, and you'll have like 5 people come follow you and show you, and it makes filming in here exceptionally awkward for me. 640 pesos for 2 rolls of duct tape. It's pretty expensive. Wilcon's not known for their low prices. Okay, we're off to the farm. Let's go. That's all I got. Day 16, Manuk here. See him? Probably a little bit lighter than he should be, but that's okay. So here we are, fully expanded the area here, and we are now divided up into 3 main sections plus a nursery, which is essentially just turned into a 4th section. Kuya's fixed it this morning, but the section down there was like 10 bays, and then the one at the far end there was like 5 or 4. So it was like the sizing's all over the place, and as a result, that one had a bunch of space in it, and that one was like super crowded. And this section here, believe it or not, is the nursery. That's a nursery right there, okay? I know you're, oh, isn't the nursery supposed to just be a little small thing with some undersized chicks? Yeah, it is. Come on, we got a whole community here. We got some dwarfism ripping through the population. And look, we got these weird leg things still running rampant in here. Okay, so we're gonna do a little walk through. You get the wand, see that? I'll be selling one of these. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a little light at the end of it too. And then we'll show you an area down here. I should have pictures from last cycle of what it looked like, where the wind was super turbulent, so the chickens wouldn't go there. But we've came to a solution, compliments of our folks over at AFI, who did a little calculation on the size of our cooling pads. We'll go show you what was done, and it's actually seems to have worked. You don't want the wind speed through the cooling pads to be faster than 2 meters per second. And you use the tarp here, you can move it up and down, and that either closes or opens the area that the air comes through, thus changing how fast it comes through. I think we've used the example before. If you think of a hose, say this is a hose and water's just dripping out like this. If I put my finger over half of it, it's gonna start shooting out a lot quicker. That's because you're closing the area that the water can leave, so thus it increases the pressure and it comes out a little bit quicker. So that's what the purpose is of the tarp here. So we have run into a situation where the surface area of our cooling pads is too small, so the air coming in is faster than that 2 meters per second mark that we'd like. So when we had the tarp high, it's coming in even quicker, and thus the air is meeting in the middle, and it's super turbulent and just violent air here. And we saw yesterday, we came in, this whole area, no rice hull, because it's all just got blasted away. And that happened last cycle too, and as a result, all the chickens just hang around the outside. I mean, they're around there now because I'm waving this fucking wand around, but class is in session. So what we've done now, compliments of our folks at AFI and their cool cooling pad calculator, is they saw that we'd essentially, to fix the problem fully, we'd have to expand our cooling pad to not just 1 bay, but 2 at least. But since we're not doing that right now, obviously, and that costs money and that takes time, so we can just put the curtain all the way down, and that allows the air to enter the farm here at a lower speed, and thus it's not as violent here, and the rice hull isn't blasting away and flying everywhere. So you see, once I'm not in this area, let the chickens settle, they actually will spend time in this area now. That's it. See, look, you see them going in that area there in the middle? That's nice to see. Our mortality's been fine. It's dropped down to be, quite reasonable, which is nice to see, but it's just this one factor of the weight that we want to dial in, and that would really give us an extremely good FCR. This is why it's important to do your walkthroughs, because stuff like this can get missed if people are being careless. Look behind the gate here. Huge gap on the side, bunch of chickens back here. We'll have to talk to Kuya. I have no idea how long these have been back here, but this is where you can have mass mortalities or really up the growth. So this is not good to see. There we are. I'm glad we caught that. That's, exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, G of why you need to be checking on shit that's being done around here. I think we're gonna drop down our ventilation to just 2 fans. It's a tough balance between having adequate ventilation and maintaining a good temperature in here, because it's been cold out. So right now, it's about 25 degrees in here. The heat index, it's only like 26. So it's a little bit too cold. And with 3 fans, I think we're getting a bit of a wind chill here that the birds are not liking. So we're gonna drop down the fans to just 2 and see how that correction helps. Things aren't looking good. Let's go in and see why. But it's not looking good. Welcome to the refrigerator, is what we call this place now, because it's been absolutely absurdly cold. It's been like 20 degrees every night. And if you're just getting here, you see the tarp siding on the building means it is exceptionally more difficult to maintain steady temperature inside. And when it's dropping down to 20 degrees at night, it is tough to keep the inside of here warm. And right now we have no gas. We ordered 12 tanks, which I suspected would have been plenty, because I was thinking at the start of the cycle, I've probably said it on a video, that, you know, it's pretty much summer. So, you know, it'll be easier to maintain the temperature in here and like all will be well. And it's been absolutely freezing cold at night, and the Minook are taking the brunt of that. They're looking up and active now, but that's because Kuya just did a walkthrough. That's actually just for show behind us here. They weren't that active 5 minutes ago. We ordered more gas for tomorrow that we can run overnight. Because the temperature is so cold, I feel like we've been balancing 2 evils here. It's either too cold, well, it's just too cold at baseline, but we've been lowering ventilation so there's less wind chill, so it's not as cold inside, but as a result, you get worse air quality. So it's either like better air quality or shittier temperature is kind of what we're balancing here until we get more gas. That's a bit of an oversight, but I was hesitant to get more gas just because gas is expensive right now. And I wanted to see if we could salvage this cycle without it, but it's just supposed to keep being like super cold. So as a result, you see the chicks huddling together, and they'll be burning calories trying to heat themselves up rather than converting that into growth. So we're really seeing a slowdown in the average daily gain from week 1 to week 2. I just want summer to come so we can focus on cooling it down than heating it up, because it's not as expensive to cool the building down as it is to heat it up, especially now with this war going on. So this has probably been the coldest cycle we've had, like freezing. And as a result, we are ripping through way more gas than we would like. So it's also an economic balance here between buying more gas to maintain a better temperature, or if we forego that expense, will we still be able to salvage the birds to a place where we'll end up making more despite a slightly worse performance? So you're kind of trying to make a prediction on what's going to be the most cost effective for yourself. Obviously you want to have the best performance that you can, but is spending more on gas going to give you a materially better payout at the end? It's tough to say. Well, we're erring on the side of caution to get more gas, but anyways, that's enough rambling for me. Day 17, we're back for another one. We are down 50% of our staff. We had 2, now we just have 1. Our man Kuya Joseph, who you've seen before, making his cameo appearances. Ang galing, Kuya. Kuya, kamusta yung mga sisu?
Okay naman po.
Okay. Hung us out to dry here, midway through the cycle. Took his payday, peaced out. He did call though, so you gotta respect that. That's better than Kuya's son, or last Kuya. Took 2 dogs and peaced out without notice, so, you know, that's okay. So we'll go talk to the one and only Kuya Rodwell and see what the is going on. And we need to get on the same page regarding just working dynamic to make sure that he's treating people well and they're not like up and leaving because of any management issues that he may be imposing. So we'll go see what the deal is, but it's a tight network out here. Like Kuya Rodwell is able to find new people pretty quick, so we may already have 2 new people coming tomorrow. Here we are, we're inside the farm. You can see here too, we had the tarp all the way up. You see there's no rice hull there. Like that's how turbulent the airflow is when the tarp is up. Like it literally blasts the rice hull out of the way off the surface, which isn't happening right now because we put it all the way down. But now you see this area that's now too windy is actually a larger area than between the cooling pads. So we're going to have to just accept the fact that this area isn't going to be a good environment for them and make this area a better environment by putting the tarps up, because this is a bigger area essentially. When we first got in the farm, there were chicks like all down the middle here and here, and it was just this area between the cooling pads that was empty. So it was like, okay, maybe we put the tarps down and then that area will fill in too, but that area is filled in and this one's cleared out. So unfortunately, you know, the hypothesis was correct in that chicks would go here, but there were a few unintended consequences that I didn't consider. So that's just kind of a lot of this farm seemingly is like we're trying to choose the better between two evils, and this is one scenario here. Okay, so we're putting the tarp up. This is our anemometer, and what is this? Anemometer. Anyways, this is our wind speed thing. Oh, okay. Oh, that's already a lot better. Just spoke to Kuya. He's filling up the bottles here, but we got two young nephews showing up here to fill in the spot. So see Rodwell down there saving our feed pans from a couple dogs. So he's doing it all out here. I'll probably have to help him get the feed in today and tomorrow, and then on Thursday, it's Tuesday right now, we should have 2 young bucks ready to come do some work here. Low stress. This is high turnover work, so you're never really shocked when people leave, but it's just inconvenient. Kuya Joseph was, I liked him actually. He wasn't a bad guy. He's a nice man. It is what it is, but we're moving on without him. New team. Still got Kuya Rodwell here. The man, the legend. At least it's hot out, so we don't need to worry about heating the place inside. We just got 5 extra tanks of gas to hopefully take us to the finish line here. It's been super hot today, so we obviously didn't need it today, but it's probably gonna cool down to like 20 degrees. I gotta get out of here and go to an appointment, so there we are for day 17. I'll check you 2 days from now when the new flockmen get here. 2 more people, we'll have a team of 3, so we're upgrading here hopefully. We're here at the farm. I don't know, it's like evening now. We've been here for a while, trying to get some shit figured out. The doctor was here. We had a couple technicians here because motor for the automatic feed was broken for the 3rd consecutive cycle here. I'm gonna go celebrate that tonight because that's what you want. You want things breaking every single cycle over and over again. That's what you want. We do have a new flockman here, flock boy, should I say. 18-year-old buck. I think these sacks of feed weigh more than him, to be honest. I haven't seen him pick one up, and he'd surprise me if he could, but he's gonna take us to the finish line here. But let's go take a look at the repairs. We'll talk about some issues that we're having here. I forgot we just had 150 bags of feed dropped off, so this storage room, Jesus Christ. Stepping on thousands of pesos here. Let's head inside. Ugh. You see there's a strong pull on the door because the ventilation's running a few fans, but you can see it just looks newer than all the shit around it. Let's talk about our band soot issue, or our undersized chicken issue, and a few other management issues we have on the go. And for those wondering what a band soot is, what does an undersized chicken look like? We'll show you here. Look at these 2 Minook. Which one's the band soot? This one here. Those are the same age chickens. A lot of these ones, like, they do eat. It's not that they're not eating, like, they just aren't converting it into weight within themselves. And our suspicion here, just spoke to the doctor, and we had one of the technicians. These are knowledgeable people too. Spoke to him for like an hour or so, getting his take on what's going on, and he gave some good knowledge. So an issue we've been having, which we already knew, but was kind of reaffirmed, is that it's been too cold in here. And that's overnight. It's been cooling down a lot, and it's been getting cold, and as a result, we're getting a lot of band soot here, and it's like the temperature combined with, I think, too high of ventilation. That, in addition to roaming around the farm. Roaming is something you need to do consistently and frequently, like almost every hour. You want that done. And you see us do it a lot. You see me go around. We put it in videos when we're here, walk around quite frequently, but it's when I'm not here in the period overnight where I don't really have as much oversight on what the temperature's looking like and how things are being managed, that you can easily have things like that slip because it's a tough shift. Like, people need to stay awake all night essentially and be roaming around, and I don't necessarily think that is the case here. Well, I know it's not. So that brings us to the last point, and that is getting a good farm manager here. That is, right now we've been rolling with 2 flockmen essentially, trying to have them hold down the scene, hold down the fort, and it just hasn't been working. And I think there's just a gap in knowledge and skill. Like, there's certainly some inconsistencies in getting tasks done, just like maybe some laziness you could say, but I also think there's just like an ignorance and like a not knowing aspect to it, that we need a farm manager to be here. It's not, especially when their second building opens up, I can't be feeling like things are gonna fall apart if we're not physically present here. Like, you need somebody reliable to be on site, because I feel like there's been a big gap overnight from like 1 a.m. to like 6 a.m. where there's not much management going on. And you see that in temperature. I know week 1, our gas ran out one night for sure because the temperature dropped so much. And that's just not okay. Like, there needs to be a rotation of shifts. Otherwise, something like that can really be detrimental to the long-term prosperity of your birds. So that is really a priority right now, finding a good farm manager, and they're spending more money to have somebody be here that's reliable and has experience and knowledge. Because right now, I feel like a lot of this process is just learning by mistakes, making decisions, having things go bad, knowing that's what you shouldn't do, and then trying different things and just like iterating that way. And that's okay to do to some extent, but a good farm manager here with years of experience, I should be learning from them. And speaking of people that just know what they're talking about, this technician we had that was fixing the motor there, I mean, he just knew so much. Like, it almost seemed like the doctor was learning from him. Like, that's how, and that's the type of person that we want here with experience and intuition. And he came in and he was essentially saying, like, the feathers of the birds look like they're like day 25 rather than day, what are we, 19. So it's like they look way more developed, but they're quite small. And he's like, that means they're band soot, and they're essentially converting more energy into fluffing themselves up because it's cold rather than growing it onto weight. And that's not something I've ever heard of before, honestly. So that's something you pick up through experience. Day 21 here. It is just after 6 p.m. and it's weigh-in day. So we're heading to get the average live weight of the birds. Should be a few days behind weight, unfortunately. That's how it's looking. Again, we have some staffing changes coming up, so stay tuned for that. We're hopefully getting some more knowledgeable hands on deck at this farm. And look at this. I'll put it up on screen. Tuk-tuk driver stole Crocs from my front porch. My f***ing Crocs. Running around the house saying, where the f*** are my Crocs at? Like, I know I wore them to the house and left them on the porch and they're gone, and we have him in 4K trying them on before he steals them, which is just diabolical. Got our man Kuya Ronaldo here joining the team. Let's go get the weigh-in. See that? No Crocs. My Crocs are on someone else's feet. Sad, that's my first pair of Crocs, so it's a sad day. We got our man Dave over there too. Young buck. Harvester, actually, his first time being a flockman, so we're starting our training school here. It's the training grounds. 10 samples a section, 5 birds per sample, 4.91. Okay, now, like I said, we got Kuya Ronaldo here. This guy knows how to grow manok. He said to expect miracles when we get back from China, and we're praying for them. It's a nursery, he says, with a question mark, because this can't be a nursery, can it? There's no way. What did he say? Sarcastic Kuya. We're in the hospital, folks. This is the ICU. Final section here. The nursery, it's so big that we're just essentially treat it like another section. And in case you're new to the channel, that's not a good thing. Ooh, this is nursery status. Okay, Jesus Christ, the uniformity is absolutely diabolical. 5.2, okay, last one here. Moves quicker when we got the full squad. All hands on deck. 910 grams was the weight, nursery included, which is pretty much just another section here. So several days behind. At this stage, we should be like 1.1-ish would be more appropriate, but what can you do? We're trying to make a major comeback here, week 4. That's why we got Kuya Ronaldo. One little change being made tonight or tomorrow. We're gonna add in a couple heaters at the far end here by the cooling pads. Let's go take a look. They kind of congregate in the back, and there's not much we can do about the turbulent air there. So we put some feeders at the back to compensate. If it was just our man Rodwell, I'd be a little concerned, to be honest, but we got Kuya Ronaldo here, so I trust in him. Uh-oh. We got somebody stroking out. We got stroking out. Oh, you catch that? That is CPR on a manok. People saying in that short form I put out, oh, you just switched the chicken. Like, that's not the same one. Of course it's the same one. So I tell you, I'm the one who resuscitates manok. That's how it is. Oh yeah. You don't want to get too close to those. Melt your eyebrows off here. These are sketchy heaters. So it'll help us now, but I think unfortunately, like, we've arrived at a bad grow here, and not just because of this section. It was kind of already looking dicey before we expanded down here, but see if this helps us out in the final stretch. The UFO is on the move. See what I mean? You gotta talk to the manok when they listen. Gas line on, electrical in. See if this sparks up here. Be careful so this doesn't melt, eh? So potentially for next cycle, maybe the cycle after that, we'll see. We'll get a couple more heaters maybe that we can place down in this end to compensate for our shitty cooling pads and the airflow being pretty crazy. But look, you already see them congregating underneath the heater. You see that? That means it's doing what we want it to do. Our 910 gram undersized Minook are getting some heat. So even when they underperform, we still treat them well over here. As you see, all the active Minook behind me, they literally can't stop running around. They're so excited to be here, as am I, especially this tennis ball bandsaw. That wraps up week 3 here of cycle number 3. And again, we are playing from behind, trying to catch up. Are miracles taking place? Are these Minook growing to the size that they need to be? We'll catch you next week to find out. Like and subscribe.